Liverpool have been handed one of the clearest possible green lights in the transfer market as Africa's reigning best player, Ademola Lookman, emerges as a very real option for Arne Slot's squad this summer, a development which could transform the Reds' attacking options at a time when their primary focus remains fixed on Alexander Isak, the Newcastle United striker who has been their marquee target for months, but whose situation remains volatile because of Newcastle's need to secure a replacement before sanctioning any exit, leaving Liverpool in a position where they cannot simply gamble everything on one unpredictable pursuit, and instead must explore realistic alternatives in order to protect their ambitions of competing not just for the Premier League title, but for the Champions League under its revamped league phase format, which demands depth, balance, and proven quality across the squad. And in this regard, Lookman's availability, pedigree, and desire to leave Atalanta makes him one of the most compelling solutions left on the market. Because this is a player who only last season was crowned African Footballer of the Year after scoring a hat-trick in the Europa League final against Bayer Leverkusen, firing Atalanta to European glory and instantly elevating his global reputation, a recognition which saw him beat Liverpool's own Mohamed Salah and Napoli's Victor Osimhen to the KF award, underlining just how extraordinary his impact has been. And while his name may not carry the superstar glitz of an Isak or a João Felix, his profile is in many ways exactly what Liverpool need at this juncture. Because Lookman represents versatility, maturity, and hunger, attributes that Slot values highly in constructing his front line. And more importantly, he is actually available after his proposed transfer to Inter Milan collapsed earlier in the window, leaving him with a transfer request lodged at Atalanta, and his future hanging in the balance, effectively opening the door for Liverpool to make their move if they are bold enough to act quickly. And crucially, this would not necessarily close the door on Isak, because the Swede could still be pursued in January, meaning Lookman could serve as both a stopgap and a long-term contributor, giving Slot the option to rotate, to experiment, and to ensure the squad does not fall short in the first half of the campaign, something that has plagued Liverpool in previous seasons when injuries struck, and the lack of reliable attacking depth cost them valuable points. And if we step back and examine Lookman's journey, the story is one of perseverance, growth, and eventual fulfillment of potential, beginning at Charlton Athletic, where his dribbling and directness caught the eye, before a big move to Everton, where inconsistency and managerial changes hindered his progress, followed by a move abroad to RB Leipzig, where he showed flashes but never cemented a role, leading to loan spells at Fulham, where he impressed but could not prevent relegation. And then the pivotal chapter at Atalanta under Gianpiero Gasperini, who unlocked his potential, transforming him into one of Serie A's most dangerous attackers, with 20 goal contributions last season, a tally that reflects both his end product and his consistency. And it is this resurgence, capped by his Europas League heroics, that has made him Africa's top footballer and put him back on the radar of Europe's elite clubs, including Liverpool, who have reportedly tracked him since earlier in the season, with Anfield Watch among those noting him as a summer option. And now, with his status unsettled at Atalanta and his Inter Milan move having collapsed, the stars align for Liverpool to swoop in. Because beyond the numbers and accolades, Lookman offers a skill set tailor-made for Slot's system, with his ability to play wide on either flank or centrally, making him an ideal fit in the fluid, interchangeable front three that Liverpool are building, while his dribbling and 1v1 ability give him the tools to unlock deep defenses, something that is increasingly vital against Premier League opponents who often sit back at Anfield. And his energy, pressing, and willingness to work off the ball fit seamlessly into the Liverpool DNA that Jurgen Klopp established, and which Slot is determined to evolve rather than discard. And when you consider that Lookman also qualifies as homegrown, not taking up a precious non-homegrown squad slot. His signing becomes even more logical, because squad registration rules are a quiet but decisive factor in elite-level recruitment. And having an attacker of his caliber who also ticks that box is an extremely rare opportunity, one that Liverpool cannot afford to overlook, particularly when the alternative is entering the season with Rio Ngumoha, a talented but raw academy product, and Federico Chiesa, who has been linked but whose injury record and inconsistency raise significant questions, as the main fallback attacking options behind Salah, Diaz, Nunez, and Gakpo. And for a club that wants to be the best in the world, such a gamble is unthinkable, which is why Lookman's situation feels like a gift, the rare alignment of form, availability, affordability, and tactical fit that Liverpool simply must seize. And while some may question whether he has the star power of an Isak, the truth is that modern football squads are built not only on stars, but on depth. And Lookman has already proven he can deliver on the biggest stage, outshining Leverkusen's entire backline in a European final, delivering when it mattered most. And that clutch factor is exactly what Liverpool need in tight Champions League nights or Premier League battles where one piece of brilliance makes the difference. And while his critics may point to his earlier inconsistency in England, the player Liverpool would be signing now is not the raw youngster of Everton or Fulham, but a seasoned, confident 27-year-old attacker in his prime, with a Continental trophy and Continental award to his name, hungry for a return to the Premier League to prove his doubters wrong, and to establish himself as one of the division's best. And the timing could not be better, because Liverpool's need is urgent, their ambition is high, and the market has presented them with as green a light as they are ever likely to get. With Lookman openly wanting to leave, his club willing to sell, and the price likely to be within reach compared to the inflated demands around other forwards. And if Liverpool truly want to back Slot in his first season, giving him the weapons to fight on all fronts, this is the move that makes sense from every angle: sporting, financial, tactical, and emotional. And so the question is no longer whether Lookman is good enough, but whether Liverpool are decisive enough. Because in modern football, the margins are small, the opportunities fleeting, and the cost of hesitation high. And right now, as the window ticks down, Liverpool cannot afford to hesitate, because they cannot afford to go without signing another attacker, and they certainly cannot go wrong by bringing in Africa's best player from last year, Ademola Lookman, whose story of redemption, rise, and relentless hunger aligns perfectly with the club's values and ambitions, and whose signing would send a message not only to fans, but to rivals, that Liverpool remain ruthless, opportunistic, and unrelenting in their pursuit of greatness.